From its beginnings in 1958, NASA hoped to build a space-based outpost that would help to learn how to live and work in space for extended periods of time. Plans began to materialize in earnest in 1984, following the Reagan president's call for NASA to collaborate with international partners to build a space station within a decade. The space program was called Freedom, but due to problems in designing and costs, among them the accident of the Space Shuttle Challenger, the project was postponed. On the other hand, Russia didn't accept to participate since they were focused on the launching of the Mir station to the space. With the arrival of Clinton, the budget was cut. NASA had to reduce the Freedom's initial project. However, in this occasion, the Russians did accept the invitation to participate in the project.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, coming up on main engine start.
On November 20, 1998, the Russian rocket Proton placed in orbit the first module of the ISS, the Russian module Zarya, designed to equip the station of initial energy and propulsion. 9 minutes later, Zarya was in orbit and began to unfold its antennas and solar panels. On December 4, 1998, the Space Shuttle Endeavour of the STS-88 mission took off from the 39A launch complex at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, carrying the Unity Note 1 module in its cargo hold. Unity was the first American component of the ISS. 2 days after the launch, Endeavour and its crew of 6 people met with the Zarya and, using the shuttle's robotic arm, they captured the Russian module and they docked it. This was the first step in the assembly of the ISS, which continued for 13 years.
In behalf of the STS-134 crew and the Expedition 27 crew, space station assembly is complete.
The ISS represents an international collaboration without precedents, joining a multitude of organizations and countries: USA, NASA, Russia Roscosmos, Canada CSA, Japan JAXA, and the European Space Agency ESA. The ISS has a total mass of approximately 420 tons and a length of about 109 meters by 88 wide. Its speed is about 27,743 kilometers per hour. The station orbits the Earth from west to east, completing each round in about 90 minutes, depending on the altitude of the station. In this way, every day it's supposed to complete almost 16 orbits. The altitude of the station ranges between 335 to 460 kilometers, and its orbital inclination is 51.6 degrees. The station loses about 150 meters per day because of the gravity, so it has to be moved. Reboosts of modules are produced several times a year to place the station at the correct altitude. These changes in altitude cause the orbit to move almost 23 degrees west in each orbit. The orbit of the ISS covers 90% of the planet, between 51.6 degrees north of the equator and 51.6 degrees south. The ISS has been today, November 28, 2018, a total of 7,313 days in orbit. So, on December 3rd, filing date of this project, we will have spent 7,318 days in orbit. And giving 15.6 orbits a day, it will result in a total of 114,160 turns to the Earth on December 3rd, 2018. We can see the ISS at a glance, because it reflects the light of the sun, but as it's not as bright as the moon, it can only be seen at dusk or dawn. It looks like a very bright plane or star, but without flashing lights nor changes in direction. To see it, it must go over our heads and be 40 degrees or more above the horizon. The initial mission of the ISS, agreed between NASA and Roscosmos, was to be a laboratory, observatory, and factory in low Earth orbit. In addition, it had to provide transportation, maintenance, and act as a test bed for possible future missions to the Moon, Mars, and the asteroids. The ISS provides 3 unique conditions for the research: microgravity, extreme conditions, and low Earth orbit. There are also 3 types of benefits that the ISS is offering: scientific discoveries, benefits for humanity, and it enables future space explorations. Among the benefits for humanity, Human health, Earth observation and disaster response, innovative technology, global education and economic development of space are included. The International Space Station is a unique laboratory for performing investigations that affect human health, both in space and on Earth. It has offered a better understanding of aging, diseases, environmental impacts, nutrition, the response to stress, or even new forms of wound healing. On the other hand, it allows to monitor the Earth more effectively and respond to natural disasters and catastrophes. Other examples in technological innovations are the use of robots or filtration and water purification systems. The future of the ISS is linked to the conquest of the Moon and Mars and its high-maintenance cost, which means almost half of the NASA spaceflight annual budget. In fact, the US government proposes to stop financing the ISS with public funds in 2025 to focus on the conquest of Mars. They'll try to convince private companies to finance the cost of the ISS and make a transition to commercial operations.
As we orbit the planet every 90 minutes, we see a world without borders and send our wish that all nations will work toward peace and harmony.
Our world has changed dramatically. Still, the ISS is physical proof that nations can work together in harmony to promote peace and global cooperation and reach goals that are simply out of this world.